Coach Prime in Colorado has a big weekend in his first weekend as the Buffs head coach in Boulder, Colorado. Let's look through this article that's been posted online. It was a full weekend for Coach Prime in Boulder. It started with Deion Sanders still in the show during Tad Boyer and Colorado's basketball win over Colorado State Thursday, and ended with Sanders hopping back on a private jet for his final week as the coach of Jackson State. When Sanders returned to Colorado following the Celebration Bowl, or when he does return to Colorado following the Celebration Bowl, it would be as the full-time coach of the Buffs. As you know, he's going back and forth Jackson State to Colorado, as he's doing both, just like he did both playing football and baseball. It's crazy how the world works and how it comes right back around full circle, as he's wearing two hats, a Colorado Buffalo hat and a Jackson State J hat, as he's in between both of them thanks to a private jet. Those are the resources right there that you see kicking in. If he can win the final game with Jackson State while he's been recruiting and establishing a coaching staff at CU, he'll prove he can multitask off the top, in which I think he's already proven enough of in the past with Coach, what he's done as an athlete, player, analyst, and everything else for the last 30 years. The multitasking won't go on forever, though. When he returns for the second of two big recruiting weekends, his focus will be on the Buffs full time, they say. Let's look at Sanders' first weekend at CU. Trying the local food scene, we've seen him do that. Anyone who's moves to a new place knows what it's like to get used to all new restaurants. Well, Coach Prime is no different. Over the weekend, Sanders tried 3 different restaurants in Boulder, Village Coffee Shop, The Buff, and Le Peep, and posted his reviews on his Instagram. Commitments are rolling in. Sanders said talented players were on their way to Boulder, and he wasn't kidding. He flipped 4-star running back Dylan Edwards from Notre Dame to Colorado after Edwards visited the CU campus last weekend. As we can see right here, Dylan Edwards. You'll see my full video that I posted on Dylan Edwards also on this page right here, actually. So this guy right here, we've seen a lot of highlights from him. A speedster, top end guy, get him the ball, he'll find the end zone. Edwards immediately becomes the Buffs' top player in the 2023 class. The Kansas native is the top 10 running back nationally, according to 247 Sports. And also, to add to that, he added another playmaker, and that is 3-star wide receiver Asad Wasim, who was also on campus this past weekend. He's been committed. Also, the Florida native had offers from Ole Miss, Arkansas, Kentucky, Miami, and other Power 5 programs. Cal transfer Champion Johnson also announced his commitment to CU over the weekend. There he is right there, posted up in Folsom Field with Coach Hart, and he's also posted up with a guy we have highlights of, and that's Victory Johnson. Johnson, a tight end, or should I say Champion Johnson is a tight end. It's the older brother of Victory Johnson, a 3-star linebacker from San Diego, who is a part of the 2023 recruiting class for the Buffs. We'll check out his highlights in a second. Next weekend figures to be even bigger, with the early signing period around the corner on December 21st. So get ready for that. That's going to be after the Celebration Bowl that will be Coach Prime's last game at Jackson State. Here are some coaching rumors for CU and Coach Prime in Colorado. Yet another member of Sanders' staff at Jackson State appears set on his way to make it to Boulder. According to Fox Sports, JSU offensive coordinator Brett Bartolone, a student of the air raid system, and RIP to Coach, who just passed away. He's a student of this system. He will join the Buffs as the wide receivers coach. Bartolone, a former wide receiver at Washington State, has ties to current Colorado State coach Jay Norvell when he was at Nevada. That's where he came from to go with Coach Prime to Jackson State, Nevada, and that's where he served as the offensive analyst. According to other reports from the pregame show, shout out to Big Neely, defensive coordinator Dennis Thurman will be the head defensive analyst and director of quality control for the Buffs. Bartolone and Thurman will join current JSU staffers Tim Brewster, of course you know Coach Brew, tight ends coach, and Andre Hart, the linebackers coach, and Kevin Mathis, the cornerbacks coach at CU. Sanders also made a major addition to his recruiting staff. A report from On3 said CU has hired Vanderbilt Associate Director of High School Scouting, Darius Darden-Box, to be the Buffs Director of Recruiting. So it's all about recruiting with Coach Prime, and he has an all-star staff of recruiters, with starting with Coach Brewster, Williams from Texas A&M and Georgia, and on and on and on. These guys are all about recruiting, and that's what they're doing. They're making that priority number one. Shout out to Coach Prime in his first weekend. Should I say weekends now coming up in Colorado, Boulder, Colorado. Shout out to Big Neely, Deion Sanders Jr., Shedeur Sanders, Matt Marini, and the whole staff, Coach Prime, Smack Entertainment, and so on. Stay tuned for more from Coach Prime in Colorado. You already know what it is, man. Leave a like, subscribe, comment, all the other good stuff. We're about to stay in peace with me. Yeah.